Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by my channel. My name is Kadeem for those of you who don't know, and my whole goal is really to share financial education, financial knowledge with people like you. I find that in Canada, there's not a lot of people doing that, and that's where I come in. So if you find this information valuable, you find it beneficial, I ask you to like, subscribe, and share this content with someone who you may think may find it beneficial as well. All right, that'll help to make this common knowledge and push this information before more people. So again, I thank you for stopping by. Let's go ahead and get into the content. You know what I would like? I'd like to be able to invest my money, have it grow, gain some interest, and pull out my money tax-free whenever I want to, with no penalty. Enter tax-free savings accounts. So today, obviously, we're talking about TFSAs, tax-free savings accounts, or what some people call TFSAs. Not making fun of anybody, just a little correction there. It's called a tax-free savings account, so TFSA, right? And the whole idea behind these accounts are they allow us to, again, invest our money. It's a registered account. Invest your money, put your money into this account, depending on your contribution limit, which we'll cover in a moment, and you allow your money to grow tax-free. Now you can put that money into a stock account, right, which encompasses the TFSA. So your TFSA can be invested into a trading account. It could be in a mutual fund or a segregated fund. Now, depending on how the market does, you get the growth. You can pull out that money tax-free. Again, depending on the stipulations of your account, you can set it up to where there's no penalty at all. There's no time limit on being able to withdraw that money. So if I put in, let's say $10,000 today, and it grows to $15,000, let's say down the road, a year down the road, I can now pull out that money tax-free, and if I set it up correctly, with no penalties attached to it. All of it's mine. I don't have to pay any capital gains tax. I don't have to pay any taxes on that money, period. That's why it's called a tax-free savings account. Now, there's certain contribution limits, right? I kind of mentioned that to you already. In 2009 and 2012, it was $5,000 when it first came out. And I'm not going to go over every single year, but I know one year, for example, was $10,000. And this year, 2021, the limit was $6,000. The way this account works is the year you turned 18, you can now open this account. And depending on what year you turned 18, the matching contribution limit is your limit. So for example, this year, if you turned 18 this year, 2021, the limit is $6,000. So you can contribute $6,000. However, I've been over 18 rather, for a few years, so I can invest a lot more than the $6,000. So anybody who's, let's say 2009, you were already over 18, then the max you can contribute right now, as of the recording of this video, 2021, is about $75,500. Next year it's gonna go up. We don't know what that new contribution limit will be, but every year more room becomes available. And here's the thing too. So again, in the case where you were over the age of 18 in 2009 when this account first became available, your contribution limit right now is $75,500. So if you were to put in $75,500 and you maxed out your TFSA, let's say this year you pulled out $10,000. Next year, what'll happen is that $10,000 you pulled out in 2021, you can recontribute. You can put back into the account. You can reinvest it in 2022, plus whatever they raise the contribution by. So let's say next year's $6,000, 2022, your new contribution limit is plus $6,000. You can put in that $10,000 you withdrew in 2021, plus that $6,000 that became available in 2022. Down below, there's a link to the contribution limits, the government website. So don't take my word for it. Look it up on your own. And at the end of the day, this is an account where, again, there's no taxes when you withdraw your money. I'm not saying to open one. I'm not saying not to open one. However, who doesn't want tax-free growth, right? There's RSPs where we know you're penalizing your tax. There's different accounts that you can open, even just an open savings account, right? Open mutual fund, an open account. You're also taxed on that. So again, TFSAs has its place. It can be very valuable, and all these other accounts have their place as well. All I'm saying is if you want tax-free growth, TFSA is an option that you can look at. Now, I mentioned you have to be 18 years old. In BC, it's actually 19 years old. Some other qualifications are you have to have a SIN number and you have to be a Canadian resident. So if you're not, but you're working on it, once you get that, then you can contribute to your tax-free savings account, because again, it is a registered account. Now, if you over-contribute, this is something to pay attention to. If you do over-contribute, you will be penalized. And that penalization is 1% of the excess amount every month. So annually, that's 12% on the over-contribution amount. However, so that you don't over-contribute, let's say you have an extra $1,000 in there, just pull out that money, put it somewhere else. There's many different accounts you can put it into. Put it into an RSP, put it into a non-registered account, put it into a universal life or whole life policy. Right? Or just put it in your checkings account, your savings account, whatever. There's different options. But it's very easy to not over-contribute to your TFSA, because again, it's tax-free withdrawals. Just pull it out. Just take out the money. That's all you got to do. So again, 1% on every dollar over the contribution amount monthly. 1% every month. All right, so pay attention to that as well. Now, if you do happen to over-contribute, you will get a letter from the government explaining the situation and kind of telling you what the fees are going to be. And again, in that case, just pull out the money, pull out the extra money, and don't worry about it. And one more quick note. With the TFSA, again, I told you the tax-free growth, right? The growth on this account is tax-free. So a lot of us, unfortunately, have our TFSAs in a place, typically the banks, where it's not doing much for us, right? I'm not knocking the banks, but it's not doing much for you where it is often. So there's no point to a TFSA at that point. If you're only getting 1% growth, 1.5% growth, or 0.05% growth on your tax-free savings account, you're kind of minimizing and forgetting the purpose of a TFSA. The purpose is the tax-free growth. I can't say it enough. So if your money's not growing for you where it's invested and you've been there for a year, 2 or 3 years, reconsider where you're invested. Definitely reconsider where you're invested, because it's not doing anything for you. So that's it for me, everybody. Hope someone got something valuable from that. Kadeem here. Stay happy, stay healthy, and stay blessed.